Hey, what's going on, guys? So this little review is going to be on the Soul 5 Rovermax. Soul 5 is the brand that's brought to you by Evolve. Evolve is the soft plastic bait company, and I guess this would be their hard bait lineup. Evolve being the parent company, but Soul 5 kind of still being its own little entity of hard baits. And the Rovermax is their topwater walk the dog style lure. Comes in one size. It's a 110 size, so it has a length of 4¼ inches, has a weight of 3/4 of an ounce, and it's a topwater floating style lure. First impressions of the lure, when you first see it, you'll obviously see that it's got 3 hooks on it. And you'll see it's a fairly large lure, I guess. I mean, maybe not in length. I mean, 4¼ inches is, for a topwater bait, I guess it could be pretty long, but it seems like it's very fat. So kind of like a spook almost, where they're just, or like a super spook, I should say, where they're really fat. And then the other thing that you'll notice, it's got this mouth that's kind of convex. So it doesn't have like the normal cupped spitting mouth that you'll find in like the Lucky Craft Sammy. See, the Sammy has that cupped mouth, where this one has the convex mouth. And it reminds me of the Duo Realis pencil. The Duo Realis pencil is the only other lure that I've seen. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but that actually has that ball in the mouth. The pencil here on the left it's more of a ball, where this one's kind of like a football shape on the right, as far as the Rovermax is concerned. It's a fit and finish is actually pretty nice. They've got some pretty sweet colors. Tackle Warehouse only has 6 of them, but if you go to their website, I think they've got, what is it? They've got 10 colors here. And they're all pretty cool. I mean, as far as topwater baits, I kind of prefer a louder color like this. This gold color will be a pretty good color here, and this purple color here, it's just a different color. I think that it'll be different looking, and you can definitely see it from a long ways away. So moving on, as far as the hardware and stuff are concerned, you can see that it's got a split ring attached to the line tie here up front. I'm kind of up in the air on whether or not I like the split rings on the front anymore. I do like tying a loop knot for my topwater baits, especially on the walk the dog style lures. And it seems that just tying a loop knot accomplishes the same exact thing that a split ring accomplishes, where it's going to give it more movement, where it can go from left to right. For those of you guys that aren't comfortable with tying a loop knot, I think that a split ring is probably, I wouldn't say necessary, but it's going to be beneficial, I guess, where it'll allow the line to, or the lure to move a little bit more freely and not be caught up in the tension of the line. But if you're tying loop knots, I think that this split ring, you can probably just take it off. One of the things that I noticed about this lure, like I said, it's got 3 treble hooks on it, which I'm kind of down the middle about this. When I look at a Duo Realis pencil, and I look at the Evolve, or the Soul 5 Rovermax, you'll see that this one has more hooks than this one. This one's got 2 hooks. This one's got 3 hooks. But we look at the hooks. The hook size on the Duo Realis pencil just is enormous compared to the Rovermax. So I guess where the question lies is, do you want to have more hooks but smaller hooks, or do you want to have less of treble hooks but bigger hooks? I suppose by having more hooks on here, you're going to have a better ratio of hooking up on the fish. I mean, especially if they come up and swipe at it. But with a bigger hook, you're going to have a bigger gap, so you're going to possibly be able to have a better opportunity of bringing that fish in if they do indeed get hooked. So that's for you guys to decide. That's just some food for thought for you. One of the things that I noticed about this hook that was different than some of the other lures that are out there is, you'll see that middle hook hanger there is not completely in the middle of these other 2 hooks, meaning that it's not equidistant from either side. So you'll see that when I put this rear hook to this middle hook here, they don't touch at all. In fact, they don't even get close. But this front hook to that middle hook, they can tangle up on each other with relative ease. Now, in my trials out on the water with it, it didn't hang up not a once. So I think that that's probably something that it might seem like it might be a problem. It probably won't be a problem because, like I said, I mean, in the few hundred times that I casted it, I didn't have it hang up once on these two hooks here. Could it happen? I suppose it could. Does it seem to happen relatively easy when I'm sitting here playing with it? Yes, it does seem to happen relatively easy, but it didn't happen at all in my testing of the lure. So just some more food for thought for you. It does have, it is rear weighted, obviously, like most of the topwater spook style lures are rear weighted, but it does have another ball that moves from front to back in here. It doesn't move a long way, but it does move, and that acts as not only as another rear weight to it to help it kind of cast out there and sit in the water slightly canted, because this lure doesn't sit aggressive like this one, like a Sammy does. It sits just kind of like that Paycheck Repo Man does, where it just kind of sits just slightly canted in the water. But this thing does move, so it offers, by way of a sound mechanism inside it, or a rattle, if you will, it does do that. So here's the sound of it. It's not real loud, but it does make noise. Here's a Realis pencil. So you get the idea that it does make noise. It's probably not the loudest one on the block, but it's definitely going to make some noise in the water. Now, you'll also see that it has some really nice features to the lure, where you've got the scales on it, the raised gill plates, the eyebrows on it. I mean, it's just a really overall nice fit and finish to the lure. Nice hooks on it. The hooks actually were one of the things that caught my eye right off the bat, were the fact that they were a really beefy hook. I don't know what size they are. If I had to guess, I would say they were probably a size 4. But they're just the wire on them is a really beefy wire on them. So something that I really appreciate about the lure. But back to this thing here on the front, I think that this thing makes the lure walk so easily. In fact, if you just twitch the rod forward just one time, you'll see that the lure, it'll start darting forward, and then it'll start to just veer off. That water must just kind of go off that ball there in the front and just make this thing just veer off to the left or right. What does that mean to you as a consumer moving forward with this lure? It means that it's going to probably be an easier lure to walk. The lure, by the nature of what it is, wants to walk from left to right with that thing on the front of it. It's a very good splashing lure too, when kind of like the gunfish, where it makes a nice bubble over its mouth. If you get a good little twitch on it, it'll make that nice little bubble around its head. So it's something that it's very nice. I actually, it's a pleasure to fish with. It casts a long ways. It walks really easy. It has that nice glide or sachet in the water. It can move really slow or really fast. It does them both really well. Presents itself well in the water. It's actually a really nice lure, and it's price pointed at $7.99. So it's actually an affordable lure too. So I actually really like this lure. I like fishing with it. I think it's going to be productive in the spring for me. So definitely a cool lure to check out. Let's go over some of the colors that we have here. This color, I haven't seen anything like this before. This is Purple Haze Gil. Looking on their website, at least, it's Purple Haze Gil. And it's just a bluegill pattern, but in a purple. So this is where the business of it's going to be, I suppose. I think if a fish was looking at it from an angle off in the distance, that's probably a little bit of what they would see. I think you're going to mostly see most of this color here, but it is a transparent lure, so, and just really almost holographic in the nature, kind of foil finish here on the head. Just a really nice looking lure here. This is Purple Haze Gil. This next one here is called IUHD. Fairly gold bait. I mean, for most of the IU colors that I've seen don't have this much of a foil pattern to it. They're mostly kind of an off-white gold, where this one is a very pronounced gold with the IU chartreuse dots here on the gill plates there. Kind of a silver belly there, but that gold is just so loud. definitely a bright color for those muddy waters, I suppose. So here is IU HD, and I'm sure that the the picture that I take, the still shot, is gonna do a better job of showing you what this lure really looks like. All right, guys, so there's my review of this lure. It's a very nice lure. I mean, I'm pretty impressed that they're able to get a lure of this caliber out there for $7.99. I mean, that's seems to be the flavor of the week these days with lure manufacturers like Soul 5 or Duo Realis out there putting out premium grade lures for under $15. That seems to be the flavor of the week for these lure manufacturers. So I know as consumers, we really appreciate that, getting a superior product out at a budget price, I guess. So very nice lure. Good job, Soul 5. If you guys like the lure review, please hit the like button down here in the lower left corner. Really appreciate that, and we'll see if we can get another lure review out. I think we're gonna do the Yozuri sashimi popper next. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thanks a lot.